Hi, it's Kaz again, and I just want to firstly foremost apologise to Jesus and the world that I do believe in my heart and spirit that Jesus didn't rape anybody in 40 days in the desert with Satan, because one, I know Jesus is a good and honest man, but two, the Holy Spirit was with him, never left him, and the Holy Spirit's not like that. So just so how dangerous to blasphemy against God. I mean, today my girlfriend, one of my friends, not my best girlfriend, but one of the Kiwi native girls in the village here, a little bit crazy, found out, but I heard my kitten screaming from outside, and I came running outside, and it was in her arms, and she's trying to blame the dog that wasn't there, and standing in the trash can. It's like, and all of a sudden my kitten is like, it's messed up. It's all weak and a bit like sad looking and crunched over, and so it's like I'm just praying for a miracle that nothing happens to my cat. I mean, ticks are pretty serious, but I just want to firstly and foremost know that I hope that's not punished for doing that, and I'm definitely apologising, not just because of the kitten, but I was going to do it anyway. But I just want you to know I have questions in my mind and just things like, because, and I'm very sorry to the world and for everything and my sin and my behaviour. And I just want you to know that Jesus is about love and peace. And if you think I'm an evil girl for saying that I want to save Satan, well, I mean, saving the world flying up. And, I wish everyone could feel the hug that I got from Jesus first and foremost. And then, the hug I got from Whit to see why. And I was just studying Whit's life, and and it was 20 years and without Whit, and they wouldn't let me have the dream of Jesus, and which is real to me, and 20 years without Jesus, and like I was lonely and hurting, and and I've had relationships that haven't worked out, and I wondered why true love for me, and I'm really in love with Jason Kono, and he came along, and it's like all things aside about the wedding and the bride and everything. I just want to also say that Rob Mulaney, thank you for being my record producer and meeting you, and he even said I had the power to stop wars. So what would peace be about, So what I say, I've got plans for Disneyland in the Middle East, because no, stop the war and put down the gun and have some fun. Because I had this guy in the pizza shop say, from the Middle East, he said, there is no God. How could there be God when there's all that war and that women and kids growing up in that environment? Basically, that's right. So I thought we have a Disneyland party, like have a big outdoor cinema and have barbecue, beer and champagne, and have a Victoria's Secret gift bag with makeup and lingerie for the ladies, and even though they don't shave, those men, but still aftershave to make them feel good, and a Disney pack for the kids, and give them a safe world, a fun world instead of the cement war playground, because then they would probably grow up not hating America and everyone in Disneyland, and getting jealous and hurting, as kids, and have give those new kids a new chance, and maybe they won't stop burning the American flag and stop hating us. How hard would it be, to send, if they can't get to Disneyland, we'll send it to them. So I'm trying to fundraise for that, and about the Aboriginals over here in Australia. I mean, they're not free like in America, running around everywhere, and they're in reserves a lot. There's not a lot of mixed race over here, and they're basically, the one rumor was, they're extinct. And I rang the Aboriginal funding because I want to open an Aboriginal restaurant, because I think it would be a great tourist attraction, and have the native Aboriginal restaurant called Avalanches. And so I tried to get fundraising for that, and no one got back to me. And the Aboriginal funding company, I rang them, and it was a funeral parlour, and I'm like, what? No way, no way. And I've finally figured out, because at Surf City Church, Dustin and Chrissy and Erica and Richard and everything, God bless Richard up there in heaven. But anyway, I went over to Richard Justin saying, he said, what's wrong? I had the telephone books, and it was at the church cafe, rest underneath the church. And I said, well, I'm worried about this Aboriginal, phone number. I'm trying to ring it. It's a funeral parlour, and couldn't figure out why. And he said, well, Kaz, it's 2012. It's now 2016. I said, I don't care. I don't like the vibe. Why does it have to be a funeral parlour on the Aboriginal funding company? Why can't it be flowers or perfume shop, And it's like how they're all laughing at me. If you give your clothing and shoes your kids and come in to clean, we'll give you free petrol, and it's just like, the reputation of Aboriginals here is like the natives aren't, respected and worshipped, for the natives. I'm big advocates for land rights, and I even think in America, like I love, Bush, because when everyone was talking about him, it was like I found a church in the church car park, because there was a Trump card, and I put it on my Facebook, and it was a coloured, picture of like Sydney Opera House and all colours, like colourful, picture card. And so even though I like Trump and I know Tom Cruise wants to be president, I'm all for that, but I like Viagra Rosa. who's the Los Angeles mayor. So yeah, and there's a lot more things I want to talk about. Xi Lin from China, and how Xi Lin met her in the Santa Ana deportation jail. Beautiful girl from China. You know, she's been here 9 years, had 2 kids in hospital. No immigration went through her then. She was allowed to have 2 kids here. And Chinese girl, no drugs or anything, like beautiful girl. Real little lady, princess looking, absolutely adorable doll. And then what happened was she had a lawyer first to defend her and get a green card, and he robbed her. So she got another lawyer, and something happened there. But then she went to the China Democracy Party in Los Angeles to get help. Well, he handed her a video. Now, on this video, when she took it home, it had the Chinese government slaughtering and head chopping off their own people in mass graves, massive lineups of Chinese people. And because she had this, she sent it to her brother, who was a student in China, to warn him and show him. Now, basically, what happened was, and I read this document in Chinese and English, but I can't understand Chinese, but it was interpreted in English. And then she was getting deported, and she was terrified and crying because they found her in the shopping centre, and the immigration busted her at the shopping centre. And the first judge that said, no, she's got to get sent home, because it's like the Chinese government saying, bring her home for punishment, demanding her home, and then she's a ringleader and everything. But the China Democracy Party gave us, and then she's in prison. The China Democracy Party didn't even come visit her or defend her and set her up as a ringleader to get her punished. And I'm really out to, let you know, China, that, you're not getting away with it. Okay, and it will be a one world government one day, and it will be Jesus' government, God, Heavenly Father, God. And Allah, if you call God, God, you've got to realize that, Heavenly Father's God, and, and that's all I know. As far as other things, we need more information, like who made God, how was he put here, and all that stuff. But getting back to Xi Lin, basically the first judge should be deported and sent home when she read her case, who just had a family member die in her family. So she's not a stable mind and a bit upset, and whatever she judged. I mean, you'd read that paperwork if you're going to give people a grant or a union or whatever it's called. You'd read that and straight away you'd say, no, that girl needs to be saved here. She's got 2 kids here in America. So basically, yes, I wanted to find out about that. And another thing is, when they got the baby rape victims over, the babies that are slaughtered for drugs trafficking and dumped over the Mexican border. Now, it should take a lot of time, because you've got to wake every baby up. Well, these babies didn't get woken up, and they were dumped, and I was in jail reading that. So I'm asking God to get the information to the police. Please, God, get them information. Well, I'm there in jail, and this girl from England comes to talk to me. I told her how I used to, when I got dumped off at the convent, I went back one day as well to go and join, and my boyfriend was in the car park that dropped me there. It looked like my ex-husband a bit. He had an 8-ball of meth, so there was no way I was joining the convent that day. But basically, I was telling her I used meth at the convent car park and partying in the car park there at the convent, City of Angels convent. And I told her I wanted to be a nun and everything, and I'm sick of the men's world and everything, and I told her what I was interested in, so persistent with my organization and all that stuff, and against child abuse. So basically she comes back to me a little bit later and says, I want to talk to you. I said, okay, what's wrong? And she said, well, basically she was married to the husband that gave the cocaine to his sister, that would give the cocaine to the guys that she was working in the car yard, they would come to the car yard, these guys, and pretend that one buy a car, and they'd take it for a test drive, and they'd steal the car, kill the kids, stuff them with drugs, and drive them over the border. Now, this is just after, and they got 7 years imprisonment for that. Are you serious? That should be life. That should be death penalty. That's why there's no lethal punishment for the children. And I don't care what you think about demons done to me or what freak I am. I mean, I really care, and I'm coming back harder with justice and vengeance and protection, because I want to be good, I don't want to let demons win and everything. And, so basically what happens is, I said to her, you should tell the cops. And she goes, no, I can't. Because they all got, 7 years, but they're released now, and then they wonder who's over the border. So I got that and told the police what was going on. And then I got in trouble because I tried to ring all day to my friend who wanted to be a police officer. His sister's a police officer, and I was ringing him all day privately because they're prison guards, and I wanted to talk to the police department. And so I just used my friends. I couldn't get through all day. So I was sitting in bed, and I basically told the police that night. She goes, why didn't you come to us straight away about this, and da-da-da-da. But basically she did tell someone. She told me. That's why I'm saying any guard that is guarding the border, I don't care. Any kid found dead, I don't care how many lanes there is, and you can't find out which guard, all of them are responsible. Their job's to be any kid found over that border and they're not woken up. If there's one kid dead on the track, because there's 5 lanes turn into 1 lane eventually, and they stuff kids' bodies and stuff, you let them border police know that any child that's found dead, they're all responsible. They'll all be they should be over on death row, lethal punishment. And that they don't care they do care who's responsible, but if there's one guard on each border with different cars and then one car gets through, they're all responsible. because you know that's the vibe of it as a cop and everything. And you let a kid, you're supposed to wake every kid up, and if you're not waking that kid up and it's gone through the body, then you're all responsible. So if that partner's corrupt and lets one go through, then you're all responsible. I don't care how many cops are working on duty at the border that night, every single one will be put in lethal security's maximum prison, and we'll find out. It'll come out in those tapes. No, you talk in prison. Eventually, you're sneaking, you keep it forever. But we'll figure it out. And those God's watching, Jesus watching, saints watching, angels are watching, and we'll vibe it out. So basically, I'd like to say, return to God, through Jesus, and pray for peace through forgiveness for Satan and forgiveness for all our sins. But any child rape and murderer and killer or rapist is not going to heaven. Okay? All right. Good night. Bye.